All right, we had the big office opening today, which was great. So many volunteers and stuff, but we've just been out canvassing, and what I thought we would try to do each day is that we'll try to talk about what the issues are that people are talking about in the doors. We won't try to pretend anything or whatever. It's whatever they bring up that day, that's what we can talk about. Graham is one of key guys. He's a good friend. Graham is also back. He was helping canvass today. So we were out, there was a lot of different things that were being said, and you were out all afternoon, but did you hear one particular thing you think would need to be discussed or talked about?
Well, we had a very good response overall, but one of the biggest things that people were wondering is why is there an election going on right now? What are the reasons behind the campaign?
That's right, and I heard that too, and that's maybe the biggest thing that we've been hearing, so it's a good one to start with. But what I remind people is, look at, I know you don't like having this election, but the truth of the matter is, unless we have a government that respects what parties do, we're just going to keep having these kind of elections. We need governments that will respect what Parliament actually says and does. So I remind people of votes that I was part of in the House of Commons, in which we voted, and those votes won, and the Prime Minister chose not to support them. Well, where does democracy go after that? You know, where's your last place of judgment to be able to go to try to get these bills passed? We're sent by our people to represent them, so when we try to vote in the way we think that our constituents want, and a Prime Minister says just no, then it's not going to happen. The government, this government, was found in contempt, not by the opposition parties. This government was found in contempt by the Speaker of Parliament. That's a pretty big deal. That's not people playing politics. That's a Speaker who's objective, who had studied the facts, and then finally came out with his conclusion that the government was found in contempt. So the reason why they're found in contempt is specifically because they will not respect the votes of Parliament, or in the case of the budget, you know, billions of dollars are going out the door from the federal government as a result of this budget. We're supposed to get estimates to be able to go through them as committees and others, and in the House as well, through our different critics and others, to be able to say, okay, here's what you are saying. We want to be able to question it. We want to be able to go through it. It's been like that from Parliament from the very, very first day. But all of a sudden now we're being told by the Prime Minister, no, we're not going to give you that information. So for the fighter jets, the billions of dollars, the super prisons, we're not going to give you that information. You're not going to be able to make your own particular judgments based on this. I think that that's really important. How can we spend people's money well if we don't even get a statement? And that's what it's all about. And I think that's when the Speaker found them in contempt, the Speaker found the government in contempt for that issue. You will not give the committees and others that are responsible for financial oversight a true costing of these issues. And so he found them in contempt. That's why the government fell, for no other reason. And I'm just saying that honestly. For no other reason the government fell, because of contempt. So if people are wondering why we're having this election, that's really why.
That was a big question.
That's right. It's about Parliament. It's actually not about, there's no coalition, nothing like that is going on. Mr. Ignatif has never spoken to Mr. Layton about any of these things, and I know that because I'm there. It's all about that if we can't bring the will of our constituents to Parliament and vote along that line and do our job of proper oversight of budgets and other things, where do you go after Parliament? If nobody's going to respect it, we're all stuck. So I think that's the answer. We'll have to just keep giving people at the door that that's the way that it is. But I really appreciate the help you gave.
It goes right to the heart of our system of democracy.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not just about government or politics. It's all about democracy, and Graham is right. And he studied in England on some of these very same issues. It's all about our Parliament, people's house. If we can't protect it anymore, we're in trouble. And if it wasn't for the Speaker, there wouldn't be too much of a defense of it. So that's why we're having this election. So we'll do another one next time.